So, I've just bought every clan dojo blueprint available, and let's just say it isn't exactly cheap to do that. So I needed a lot more credits if I wanted to do so much as build any of the blueprints I had just purchased. That's why today I'm taking a deep dive into the index to give you a guide on the mechanics and general tips surrounding the index. First and foremost, the index is a game mode purely for farming credits. At the highest risk, you can get yourself 200,000 credits, and this will only take about 5 minutes. But there are some challenges you'll need to overcome. So let's start with how the index works. Firstly, you have 3 levels of investment. When you select the index mission node, you'll get a pop-up showing you each level and the buy-in cost. The way these levels work is you pay a price to enter the index, and if you succeed, you come out with the reward and your investment. However, if you lose to the corpus, you will lose your entire investment. Finally, in the rare case you don't fulfill the points quota but have still beaten the corpus, you'll get your investment back, just not the reward. Now let's cover the investment levels. Starting with a low risk, you'll invest 30,000 credits, you'll have to hit a points quota of 50, and you'll be rewarded with 75,000 credits, plus the 30,000 you invested. Next you have the medium risk investment. Sitting at 40,000 credits to enter, you'll need to get 75 points here, and the profit will be 135,000 credits, plus your investment back. And finally you have the high risk investment, which is the most commonly played mode where you'll invest 50,000 credits, need to obtain 100 points, and in return you'll be rewarded with 200,000 credits plus your investment back. Now you know how the investment works, let's look at how the game mode works. When you spawn in, you'll be on either of the 2 maps, Gasworks or Outpost. Outpost is the ideal map, however both maps are easy to navigate and don't have any major disadvantages. As mentioned earlier, you need points to win. This works by killing the corpus, who will drop 1 point upon death. When you've gathered some points, you'll need to go to the corpus side of the map where you can deposit your points, increasing the number of banked points, which cannot be stolen, and increasing the time you have to get more points. So there are 2 important mechanics to know about in the index, and both are related to the points. Firstly, the max number of points you want to be carrying at one time is 20. This is the max number of points you can collect and still get a bonus point. That means that when you deposit your 20 points, you'll get 20 plus 10 bonus, bringing the count to 30. However, make sure you don't hold on to them for too long, as you could either run out of time or lose them. Bringing me to the next mechanic, stolen points. Obviously the corpus will fight back, and when they kill you or a teammate, they will pick up 1 point, and they can also bank points. This means that if you carry a whole load of points and die, the corpus can pick them up and deposit themselves, making it imperative that you don't die. Furthermore, the more points you have, the less energy, health and shields you'll have. Your energy will constantly drain, and your health and shields will be diminished by 10% based on your modded values. But there is a damage buff you can gain from this, which is capped at 148.5% additional damage. With the debuffs, however, you will have to be very careful when running around with points, so the recommended frame is Rhino, as you can use his iron skin and ignore the majority of the debuffs. Just mod Rhino for the ability strength and some efficiency so you can cast iron skin, which with enough power, strength and firepower should last you until the end of round 1. When playing index, I would recommend playing as a team. A good strat to use when playing high index is to have 2 tank frames and 2 support frames, so then you have 2 players designated to banking points and 2 designated to keeping you and your team alive, getting kills in the background. This is absolutely not required, however, as you can easily run the index at high risk solo if you were careful. That being said though, random squads will be just fine, and I'd recommend bringing a tank frame such as Rhino anyway, just to ensure at least one person can reliably carry points. Now all that's out of the way, I could talk about a few tips when playing the index. So firstly, use weapons modded specifically for the corpus, as you'll only be fighting corpus. Next, you won't have a companion, so make sure you bring a weapon that can kill efficiently without using too much ammo. The weapon I chose to use is my Kuva Tonkel, modded for corrosive and crit damage. On top of that, I'm also using Prime Beam of Corpus, but the standard version will help just as much. My build is definitely not optimal, but it easily nukes a corpus. If you really wanted to mod properly, then a magnetic toxin build is definitely ideal. Finally, I would try and play as much index as possible when you have a credits booster active, as rewards will be doubled. And just quickly, here are some bonus rewards you can get from the index as drops from the enemy. There are quite a few mods to collect, and the majority of them are for specific weapons. If you play even just a few rounds of the index, then you'll most likely have collected all of them, as their drop rate is pretty high. Anyway, that's about it for the index. Hopefully this helps you figure out the game mode, and you can get on your way to making millions of credits. If it did help you, think about subscribing and sticking around for future content. But that's it from me for now. Goodbye.